Hey, what's up, everybody? How's it going? Apparently, there was some debate going on. Nobody cared. Did anybody watch it? I don't know. I think everybody's got other things going on right now. They delayed the primary anyway, correct? Why are these guys even bothering? USA Today article here, though. Joe Biden commits to a woman running mate. Bernie Sanders said in all likelihood he will too. And we'll just go quick with this one because you get the gist from the title. Being so they're Democrats and socialists, you knew already that they were going this direction. So Joe Biden committed to picking a woman as his running mate during Sunday's televised Democratic presidential debate, while Senator Bernie Sanders said in all likelihood he would also choose a female vice presidential candidate if he's the nominee. My administration will look like the country, and I commit that I will in fact pick a woman to be vice president, the former vice president said. There are a number of women who are qualified to be president tomorrow. Okay, well, that's great then, Joe. Step aside and let one of them go ahead and take the nomination because, quite frankly, you're boring. Get out of the way and let one of these women get in there, would you? Give up your job for a woman. Can you do that for me? I will pick a woman as my vice president. Sanders said, for me, it's not just nominating a woman, it's making sure we have a progressive woman. And there are progressive women out there. Name them? So, my very strong tendency is to move in that direction. Adding diversity to the Democratic ticket is widely seen as a priority for a party that now has two white men, both in their late 70s, as its top candidates. Ooh, no, scary old white men. The only women vice presidential candidates to be on major party tickets are Rep. Geraldine Ferraro in 1984 and Alaska Governor Sarah Palin in 2008. Ferraro ran with Walter Mondale for the Democrats, and Palin ran with John McCain for the Republicans. No woman has ever been elected vice president or president, which means that when you have a woman as your vice president, so far batting 0 for 2. Let's see if it's 3 strikes and you're out for one of these geezers. Biden, not to be outdone, but he stepped it up even more. The Democratic frontrunner said he would also appoint the first African-American woman to the Supreme Court. Way to go, Joe! Because that's what matters, skin color. And what's between your legs, of course. It's not about who can do the job best, it's about what's between your legs and what color you were born, apparently, for the Democrats. Former presidential candidates, Senators Kamala Harris of California and Amy Klobuchar of Minnesota, both endorsed Biden's candidacy and are considered possible vice presidential nominees. I was actually theorizing that when Buttigieg dropped out and he came out in support of Joe Biden, that he'd be the guy to get the nomination. But even though he checks off one of the boxes, you know which one, he still is white and male. So I guess that's not woke enough. Other possibilities could include Massachusetts Senator Elizabeth Warren, who ended her run for president after a disappointing Super Tuesday, and former gubernatorial candidate Stacey Abrams of Georgia. My God, those are your choices. How do we pick the best of a bad bunch here? Let's kind of cycle through this real quick. Stacey Abrams is a loser in Georgia. She didn't win the governorship there. Obviously, Georgia's a red state, though, so it was a tough ask. She did nothing but play the race card, I recall that. Senator Warren, she hasn't even endorsed anybody yet, and she's a lying piece of you-know-what. Kamala Harris and Amy Klobuchar, I mean, if those are really your top two, my feeling is he would go with Kamala Harris. Not only is she a woman, she's also black. That checks off 2 boxes right there. So I can't see him picking Klobuchar. Biden indicated above he wanted to put a black woman on the Supreme Court. So to me, it seems like Kamala Harris would be the most likely choice, but I don't really know what she brings to the table. California's going blue anyway. I guess in some areas, some pockets of the country with the black vote, that maybe that would help, but Kamala always pulled really low after her initial spike, right? When she dropped out of the race, she was getting, 2-3% in some areas? Now, obviously, she brings in kind of like the woke SJW, like weird hatred of the male type crowd, which seems kind of funny because a lot of Kamala Harris's base seems to be individuals that don't like a guy like Joe Biden. It would be an interesting mix to have her supporters kind of follow that guy after they've been hating individuals like him for most of their lives to say, hey, I'm the nominee now, go support this old white man. Klobuchar, she probably brings a little bit more to the table. She's stuck in the race a little bit longer, and she can help in the Midwest. She's got recognition up there. Minnesota, obviously, that went blue slightly for Hillary. I don't know if it's considered a toss-up or not at this point, but maybe that helps pull in more suburban, rural type white women. I don't know, but maybe that helps get them over the hump in Ohio, Pennsylvania, Michigan, states that went to Trump, that if the Democrats could flip in 2020, if there's an election, that they could definitely take the presidency back. I think it's more of a calculation, what'll help them get to 270 more than what Biden wants or what anybody wants. The DNC is pulling the strings, they're calling the shots. Whatever they think is going to get them closer to 270 is who they're going to go with. I don't see it being Warren, especially since she hasn't endorsed yet. She may after the next round of states vote, or were supposed to happen next week, but whenever that next round happens, she may go ahead and get behind whoever the front runner is to try to curry some political favor that way. At this point, I guess you'd have to say Harris or Klobuchar, right, with Harris being a slight leader. That'd be my guess. Right now, things are going to change, obviously, over the next few months. Again, I just wanted to throw that video out there real quick. So, black woman on the Supreme Court is what Joe Biden wants, and women are what Sanders and Biden both want as their nominees. So sorry men, white or black, Asian or Latino, and sorry women, most likely if you're Hispanic, Asian, and maybe white, you're probably out. And if you're a woman of any color other than black, you're not going to be on the Supreme Court under Biden's presidency, were he to win. Doesn't that about sum it up? Isn't that lovely? Isn't that nice to know that a certain segment of the population is already excluded from either the vice presidential slot or the Supreme Court should Biden be elected? Seems a little racist to me. Anyway, that's the video. Real quick one, like I said, politics. Things have kind of slowed to a halt as everybody's focused on everything else right now. So had to slip that one in there real quick though. But thanks for watching, everybody. Take it easy.